Hi, Becky. We might have a small party today because it is a holiday that I hope no one is celebrating, not because of this, but because I'm not very proud of my country right now. And most of us aren't. So, how are you, Becky? I don't have a mod today, so I will be winging it, but that's okay. I have a couple things I can work on, and I have some things to share because it's been 2 weeks and a lot has happened. So, if you're new here, I'm Sharon, Texture Junkies, and I'm so glad that you're either watching on replay or you're joining me live. If you are in the balcony, please raise your hand. Let me know you're here so I can give you a shout out. Um, I have some show and tell, and then I'm going to tell you guys about my new booth at the Steampunk Emporium and the table I did out front. It was pretty exciting. And I did the table first. It was last weekend. And I met so many wonderful people and business owners. There seems to be quite the group of Paula. Hello. There's quite a group of business owners down there, and they're all artsy. I mean, our downtown is all full of antiques, and we have a gallery now. There's antique malls, the Steampunk Emporium. I mean, people come to town and they take the train from Seattle or Portland because there's an old-fashioned train station right behind the main street. Plus, we have an Olympic Club, and if you know what that is, it's a McMinimans, and they buy old buildings and turn them into these vintage cigar box filled, old church doors. Like they usually have a hotel. If it already had a pool, they will refurbish it. Ours doesn't. So it's got a movie theater. They do matinees. Hi, Belinda. I'm so glad you made it. We're going to do something really different today. So, first of all, let me get out of the way so that I don't need to talk about it for the rest of the stream. I can't even look at the news right now. I was trying to check in and just get like the headlines daily. And several days ago, something in me switched where I couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't. Hi, Sherry. I'm glad you made it. I am without a mod today, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on the stream. But we're going to be doing something super fun. I'm going to actually let you guys choose because there's two different things. First of all, I went to my mom's. She broke her ankle in 3 places and had to have surgery, and she's in a wheelchair right now. So I actually have been spending a lot of time over there. It's in Elma. Another town. So my camper is over there currently. But I was cleaning out her art room, and this was grandma's. The frame is metal and it's rusty. That's actual age on that. Oh, this wasn't grandma's. She got this at a yard sale. Look at that. My mom. She's given me pictures from grandma before, and I just imagined it was in a box of grandma stuff. Anyway, I started reorganizing her art room so when she gets done, she can go out there and it's going to be amazing for her. So that'll give her some motivation. Boy, this is gorgeous though. And she gave me these were grandma's, and I took them outside and poked a hole in all of them so that I can hang them and use them like a little shadow box. She had more. She said take them all, but I didn't go back in there before I left. So we'll see. We shall see. Aren't those amazing? And they're little. They are made in Sweden. How weird is that? Huh. How bizarre. Okay, let me put these away. I found another author, you guys. My David Bloom books that I like to share with all of you. Hi, Julie. To look for. Well, okay, so 10th anniversary didn't go as planned. Something happened to the car and, we didn't get to go. So he hadn't gone shopping because he threw his back out the day before, and he was planning on, he always waits till the last minute. 10th anniversary, big deal, right? And you guys saw what I made him. And then he also got some other gifts. So he said, why don't we go to those new secondhand stores? He sat in the car and just let me have the card, basically. And I found some gems, and this is one of them. I'm just going to go like this. This is Joe Franklin, and it is good quality photos for black and whites, nice paper. There's lots of good stuff in here. There's not very many headshots. It's mostly shots from movies, and I mean, it's very cool. Very, very cool. So the author is Joe Franklin, and you could probably look him up and see if he has others too. And I love art books. I've got a whole shelf full. I did get this just to share. And these, I'm going to go back for the rest of these. He had like 10 of them. So these probably sat on a book. These are huge, and that's fabric. These probably sat on a bookshelf forever because they're from the 1960s. And right here, each book has a decade. So there are photos and information from each decade. And it's not just movies and stuff. I mean, it's history, which they're trying to erase right now. So, and the sad part about it, this is American history, and a lot of it probably isn't even true, but we'll see. Look at that. You know how men have fabricated things over time to make them look better. Well, anyway, I got 4 of them. There's probably 6 left. You know what I paid for these, you guys? $1 each. $1. $1. And they're so nice that they look new. And these are Time Life books, which surprised me with this cover. But they probably were never opened. I mean, somebody probably bought them and stuck them on their shelf. They go all the way back. This is 1870 to 1900. That is more than a decade because of cameras, most likely. So they, did a 30-year span. I did get the next 2 in line. I'm very excited about them, and I'm kicking myself, but I already had a bunch of stuff in the car, and I felt like a big glutton, so I didn't get them all, and I'm mad. I told Bill, I showed them to him, and he thought they were so cool, and they look brand new. And the covers, the fabric is different on each one, and it's gorgeous. So I'm going to put these away. So if you need to write that down, it's Joe Franklin. Let me put away my finds. Oh my gosh. And these are going to be so fun to work with. I don't know what I'm going to do with her, but she's probably going to go in an assemblage. I'll make a shrine. Wouldn't she look great in a shrine, in like a shadow boxy thing? Let's put these away. And then I have a couple more things to share that I got. I could share it all, but we're going to stop at this. Look at this. This, and it's this wide, ink pads fit in here. And I've got them in a drawer right now. I don't know if, I probably don't have enough room there, but I could probably add a couple more little shelves to it. It wouldn't be a big deal. And I think gosh, I need to redo this room. You guys come help me. Come help me do my room. Hey, Paul. My room is over. I mean, like every time I come up here to do something and think I'm going to spend some time organizing, I find something cool and then I'm at my desk. Raise your hand if that happens to you. Oh, I thought I saw Paul. I was just talking to Paul. I hope he shows up too. And Paula, I know I said hello. That was my, oh yeah, this would make a good assemblage. I feel like it's too deep for that. I feel like it would need to be more shallow, because if it hangs on a wall, you're going to not be able to see the stuff very well because it's so deep. I mean, it's this deep. I mean, it would be cool. Oh, there's little. I turned it upside down. There's circle indents right here. I wonder what went in there. Weird cups. I don't know what went in there. It's like a little sunken circle. Anyway, and the weird handle in a weird. It's not even. Isn't that bizarre? Okay, and almost here we go. Lastly, I have been wanting to do a black and white book. And these are cameras, and it's chipboard. It's heavy chipboard by Recollections, and it was $1.99. I think this is perfect for a black and white book. Drill for fairy lights inside. Ooh, that would be good, Paula. That would be good. Okay, and then I stole this from Mom's room. I'm sure she had the stuff to go with it, but it was just like shoved in a box. I was organizing some shelves, and this is from a rosette or a waffle iron. Oh no, these little rosettes that you put in an iron thing that go on your fire. But look at that. Oh, it's like this is the back to something, or a cover. Ooh, it's a cover. Okay, and this, I'm almost done. And this says photographs. It's embossed, and I love these books, but this is probably older than all the other ones that I have. It has the black paper, and somebody left their little things behind, even. And there's some pencil writing in here as well. Ooh, what did I just find? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding? Oh, there's a man walking on a hill and someone hit someone's hand. Thank you for the days that, is that someone's hand or is that a lady? Oh, there's an arm right here. Thank goodness for the days where we don't waste film, and I'm going to have to look for more treasures like that, huh? Where, because I mean, we used to waste so much film with a thumb or getting the ugly shots, no more, right? Okay. So anyway, I think this was an amazing find. It would also be great for the black and white, because it says photographs on it, and I don't know if I would do much to the cover. Oh, there's a name. Anyway, that is that. And I'm done with my show and tell for now. So, here's what's happening. I did the steampunk. Yeah, I'm always redoing my room. I feel like I never finished it though, Julie. I didn't finish the wall behind me because I gave up because I was like, this isn't working. I'm gonna stop doing it until I figure it out. Right? I do that a lot. There's always an area that doesn't get finished. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to do like a room tour, but then I don't because I didn't finish it. Oh, hi, Shannon. You missed the show and tells. Got some good stuff. So I did the Steampunk Emporium. I did a table outside. I met all these great people that own businesses downtown because they were like, ooh, who's that? Ooh, shiny stuff, So they all showed up. It was pretty hot on Saturday, so I closed up like an hour early. And then and the owner wasn't there. She was off at a thing in Long Beach, an event for the shop, and she does a lot of those. So she had somebody else working all weekend. So she shows up Saturday. No, she shows up. Yeah, it was Saturday. And it was the end of the day, and she sees how I have everything displayed, and she walked out and she went, ooh, she was so excited. And then she drug me inside and showed me this shelf that had some empty space. And she said, this entire shelf is getting cleaned out just for you. And that was amazing. So it was really cool. Hi, Mama Juju. it was really cool that she liked my stuff. And I mean, it was some validation, you know. I did sell a lot of my hanging, you know, things, you know, the things that I make with the, hold on. I left some there. I left a box of them there because, I'm coming back. I know there's a lot of chitter chatter. These. I had a couple displays of these things that we've been making over time here. And I told everyone I made this big chalkboard sign that was from my wedding. It was a big frame I put a chalkboard in. And it had YouTube and TikTok and my name. And people were taking photos of it so they could go find, you know, the channel on YouTube when they got home and or know where their art came from. And I had put found word poetry on the back of each one, which was pretty special, and let it find its person. And they thought that was really cool. But I sold quite a few of them, and the rest of them I left there. This one's my personal. I don't know why. I just don't like her color. I don't think she's done. I'm going to put her over here. So I have some of these started. And the one thing that happened on Saturday, as I was, because she got there at the end of the day, and I was there Sunday too, I was wearing this. And this I made on Saturday while I was sitting there. Because I needed something steampunk. My apron wasn't here yet that I'm steampunking out. And I just needed something, right? So I'm wearing this. See that? Let me turn my light down. It is so bright. Is that better, you guys? There. And she's watching me kind of start picking up. And she said, oh, and you can leave that bracelet here. And I said, do you want me to make some of these? And she said, when I opened my shop, I envisioned having all kinds of stuff like that, and I just never had the time. And she said she wanted to make these, in fact. And so I said, okay, let's make some. So today, I thought we might make some of these, and they're a mix match of, you know, or a mashup of all different things. If you guys don't mind a bit of stitching and chatting for our friendly Friends Day. How's that? And our nervous systems are wrecked right now, I think. So a little slow stitching might be just what the doctor ordered. I didn't even realize I did that. Or if you guys would rather, we could work on these. These ones are ready to get bejeweled and jewelry. This is a piece of scrapbook paper that had all these rulers on it. I backed it, covered it with this stuff and made it hard, and gave it the gloss, and then put the eyes in it. And this is an old box that fell apart, and it's like a really heavy book board. It was hard to cut. It was so thick, just to give it some more strength. And it's going to be a brooch. What do you guys think? You like it? Like it? It's pretty cool, huh? I think it'll make a really cool brooch. Some chain hanging, and I also have these, and these are those the ones. This one is, she's ready to be bejeweled. I just put the flat stuff on. Same with him. And I finished this one. That's a feather that I found, and I just put it down there. This isn't one of those. This is a card. I was just been wanting to show you, and I've had it on my desk for 3 streams now, and I keep forgetting. So I'm going to put that away now. These are those antique paint or oh my gosh, it is a sample of laminate. Whoop. And all I did was put these stickers on, thinking, okay, well, that one goes with that. So these will all get bejeweled. I actually sold some of these because they were a last minute creation. I've got her, but she needs something on the top and the bottom. I glued her today to get her ready. She'll need painted. I've got my lion ready to go. He's pretty cool. And I got her started. But all of these can be, I actually sold one of him. all of these can be bejeweled if you guys would rather. So, but I'm thinking cuffs. That's what I'm excited about today, if you guys don't mind. Does that sound good? Little chat. So I want to know, if I sit here and slow stitch, what you all been up to. How are you all handling what's happening without talking about what's happening? Tell everyone and share with everyone how you are finding a way to relax right now, and how you're doing. How you're doing it, because we all could use the tips right now about how to balance our nervous system or give it a break. My health, it's okay. I'm okay. I've been trying to take care of my mom. Actually, it's my mom that she broke her leg in 3 places. So she's in a wheelchair, and my stepdad, he's not healthy either. He's a jerk, but he's not healthy. I ended up not going this week because she had a little extra help, and he was such a jerk to me the day before I left. Okay, he's just not a nice guy. He never has been, but he's almost losing it, So I just glued her. She might be nice on one of these as a, this is a great way to use scrap lace, you guys. And this is a prototype. This is really messy. I sat and made this the first half of the day on Saturday after I was done setting up. So, I mean, it's messy. I was talking to people and just stitching as I went along. Hi, Anna Makes. So I feel like I need to use a mix of new and old on these. So they get a little bit of found jewelry, sort of, whether it's an old button or, anything like that. Put the old glory in here. This is basically new stuff I pulled out as old. And I also have these. I thought we might use one of these. Love of Life. How's that? Just try not to think about it. You just play in your art room. I've been in my art room a lot more. Yeah. I'm finding that I'm having more quiet time upstairs. And I mean, things are rough right now. We have our own concentration camps now. And if you look up the definition, that's exactly what's happening. So I never thought America would be like this. Not in my wildest imagination. And if you're in another country, come save us, please. Just come save us. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with either Savor the Moment or Love of Life. I think this is a great place to start. How about Love of Life? We have to find things that make us happy right now, or we will crash and burn. I mean, things are rough. And I'm putting the old stuff in there. If we don't find that balance, we just have, my cortisol level apparently is really, really high. And that is contributing to the 3-hour hot flashes that I've been having. 3 hours. I'm serious. It's like a daily thing. And they seem to come with stress, with any sort of stress or anything new. Like if I'm going to leave the house or, they come with that. And that's hard. That's really hard. Okay. So we've got this. So I am taking something now. I just started this week, not a prescription. It's another supplement I'm trying. I thought on this one, I'm going to show you how to make some flowers out of fabric like this. I did a whole corset with it in college when we had to do it in a design class. And I made a combination of the bride and the groom, but with a red rubber skirt that went with it. in an outfit. And of course I got an A. It was wonderful. I made a peplum out of ties, neckties, and I had a corset with flowers all over it that I made out of this sort of billowy old fabric. This could even be the same fabric. I don't know. I keep things. All right, so I think that I'm going to grab some lace. I want a smaller one. This was the first one I made. I'm going to show you how I use those Chicago screws. Okay, so we're going to need a piece of lace. We know. I'm going to put things in this little thing up here. I need to find the lace that goes along the edge. Now, this is that canvas stuff. All I did was fold it in half. I used my ruler, and I folded it in half, and I cut, and then I brought it to this side to make it even and cut that one. And this is that waxed canvas fabric that's so good. Upholstery is going to be perfect for this project. Even though it's olive green, I mean, it worked out. So I think that's the lace I had used. I could use a smaller one this time. Maybe. What's the vote, guys? Hugs for you too. You've been doing embroidery. It is a really great way to, relax and to focus on something else, though it doesn't take a lot of brain power. So, yeah, I'm going to cover it with something too, but do we want to do a shorter one this time or the long one? I think, how about this one? I was actually going to use this one last time and I couldn't find it. This is old lace and it reminds me of church windows. I like that. Let's do that one. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of get a rough right there. Cut it a little bit long. And the way I'm connecting these is with these Chicago screws. And that's these guys. So it's like a little doorknob. There's a thing in the back, but I'm using it like a button. So I used my punch and punched holes the first time. I think I'm just going to make an X this next time. I also have some little snaps in here and some of these guys. So I've got every color in here that I can use, but that would be pretty cool to go through like a slit, like a buttonhole, and then it would be hanging. That's pretty cool. Can't have anything on here that's super, let me go through this little bag right here. Can't have anything on here that's going to snag on stuff. So that's something to think about. And I'm going to pull out just some little bits here to go with my little billowy flowers. Oh, no. Oh, no. Something to cover it with. Oh, this stuff is pretty. Something solid to cover it with. Not solid, but you know what I mean, right? I could use some rusty fabric. It's a little big and a little much. Oh, how about that? This one's really good. It's, I think, about the right width. Okay. Now I have kind of organized some things here. Let's cut a chunk of this off. First of all, this is going to be making billowy flowers, right? So I'm just going to use these scissors. I'm going to do this and pull off some chunks. Just like that. I haven't made these in 20 years. So, I mean, I made them since college. That wasn't 20 years ago, but, just a little more. I went to college as an adult, though. So, you could start with a square also. I think 3 is good. And then I'm going to want to add other things into my flower. Something in the center, maybe an old, that's an old, it's so soft, the kind they wore around their neck. Ooh, this is really good to put on here too. This is really old trim that I love. I have a hard time figuring out how to finish the ends on this. I'll do it on a different one. Let's see. So if I use this on the edge, I'm going to use different colors of cream, and let's get this on here first. Let's see. So it would probably be better if I mass produced these for myself, but you know, I'm not smart like that. Like to lay them out and go, okay, you get this one, you get this one. But you know, I like to put my heart into every one and make them different. So it's a little crazy like that. Let's see. You know, I could go really masculine on some of them too. They would be pretty cool. I have that I cut off. And then I've got these that came off of an old hanky. A zipper would be amazing on the edge. As long as it didn't snag on anything, you would have to double check. Cooking. Anybody else feel like they would play in those teal wooden? Oh, you know, I just filled these. I emptied what was in here that was old rusty metal bits and put those in there for this and for these. So, you know, I wanted to find a combination that would work for both. So how about a little bit of that? Got this really cool old bracelet. And then let's get started, I guess. Oh, a little tool maybe. And this, I love the variety in this, and I can cut off those little circles. There's some hearts. Okay, let's go. Oh, I guess I need a needle, don't I? What'd I do with it? What did I do with my... I set it up here somewhere. Hold on a moment. Can't do much without that, can we? There it is. All right, so I'm going to just glue down. I'm going to have to trim this. I'm going to glue down the first layer. There's no shame in fabric glue. No shame at all. So I'm going to trim this. Now remember, they're going to wrap around. So I don't want anything real bulky where the buttons are. So technically, I could cut off another segment here. And this one's partial anyway, so I could get real fussy with it and cut the flower out so it looks more finished. I do this a lot with lace. I'll find the, you know, the design in it and use it as a guide. All right. And then I'm going to cut off a little bit of those edges so they're not weird. And maybe this too. So I had the urge to make potato salad this week. Am I missing anything? If you guys want to say something to me and I miss it, just put it in all caps and I'll go back. You know, if you guys see that it's moved up the chain there, somebody pointed out. I know you guys are good at that. I knew we'd have a small party today. This is nice to have a small party with friends, isn't it? Okay, I think that's good. This is really bugging me. This. That means I have to even it. This is like bangs. You're like, you gotta keep going. Okay, there, I did it. That looks nice, actually. Okay, so we're gonna cover it, and then we have to decide where our and on this one, I'm just gonna go like this. Hopefully I'm just gonna go like this. I don't want a lot of bulk where the buttonhole is gonna be. So, okay, let's see if that's good. So if this goes on the outside, let's say this goes on the inside. And I don't need to cover the whole thing. So the hole is going to be here, I think. And then my Chicago screw will be down here. I think that's great. So let's get to gluing. I have my 3-in-1. And so I don't get a lot of gloopy glue. I'm actually going to be sewing on it. So I'm kind of thinking not go super crazy with the glue. It can not be connected in some places. That is fine. If you wanted to make these, I like using neckties too. I actually used to make them when I was in college. I started making necktie, like really cool old neckties. I would use chokers and wrist cuffs because I had my karaoke business at that point, kind of supplementing my college income. And I wore them to my gigs, and I started making them for friends, and they were a lot of fun. So there we go. And I might end up just cutting off this little edge right here. I don't know. I'll get there in a minute. One of them's going to have lace. So if we look at that, let's see how it looks. Where did my lace go? Where did the right one go? I put it someplace. Better put that one away. Did I put it away? Goodness sakes. No. See, this is what happened last time. I didn't end up using it because, sorry, move the camera. I'm so sorry, you guys. Didn't end up using it because, oh, that's cool. Because I ended up throwing it in there on accident. So, and remember, I'm going to use all different colors here. And the lace will go underneath, and that's just going to get glued on, as long as the glue doesn't show. And I'll finish off the back so I can get wild with my stitches. I'll finish it off with felt or with pretty fabric. So let's see. Didn't I cut a piece of this? Because I thought I did. I did, didn't I? Okay. Now, they always have a curve to them. I think that's it right there. So I'm going to cut it a little. I know I cut a piece of this. I don't know what to do with that. Let's put that one away and keep this one on the desk. Okay, so I'm just cutting it according to that little thing right there. I'll do the same thing here. Kind of using it as a guide. Looks like fish fish scales. Okay, now does it have an inside and an outside? I don't think it matters because I'm putting something on it, but this should be the back. Okay. And this, I probably want to, it's okay if this overlaps just a little bit on the cuff. And I'm not overdoing it with the glue because once I put the backing on, it'll also hold everything in, like the stitches and this is the side that's going to show more. Come on, maybe not enough glue there. They're always curved. I just don't want to overdo it with glue because it's hard to put a needle through it. So these Chicago screws I actually got for, for like spines and stuff. I just think they're so cool. They look also like little doorknobs or like little drawer pulls, and I've used them. I know you guys have seen me use them on boxes for drawer pulls. Julie, what's going on? Where's Kylie? Oh, Kylie has some life stuff happening and she's pretty private. So she just couldn't be here. That's all. She hasn't been on her phone at all either. So she she also, when I changed my schedule, I didn't consider, she has her city council meetings on Fridays, but they're not every Friday. And things are kind of busy right now because they've got some road project or something going on in town. It's like a little village. And she, it already looks nice. Look at that. And she couldn't be here for part of it. So she won't always be missing. She just, and she likes being here with us. She just gets caught up and stuck. That looks really cool already, doesn't it? All right. And see where it's okay if that overlaps a little bit. That looks really neat. I love it. Hey, Paula, Julie's trying to talk to you. Okay, so I'm going to cut my little hole here. And then my wrist is probably pretty big. I mean, if somebody needed another hole cut, like for a smaller wrist, I mean, I don't think it has to be tight. So I think that's good. Tight on me means probably good for others. So I'm just going to very carefully cut a little bit more. Now I used my hole punch on the first one and it was a mistake because it made the holes too big. It just, you know, they get bigger. So, and you can, I'll probably go back and sew the buttonhole properly also, which is, I think, very relaxing, you guys. To sit and sew a buttonhole. I haven't done that for years. I remember doing that in high school, and I just, on my own stuff, because I used to make costumes, and it's so relaxing to just sit and do that whip stitch around the edge there. All right. Oh, perfect. See that? And then that came out in the center of the flower. So when it's put together, it'll be like that. And that looks really cool. I love it. Okay. So next I will. So it's got this little screw that goes on the back side. Let's see. We're going to go like this. I know there's going to be a lot of this. So that means if I want, since I don't have a skinny wrist, I think that will do right there. Okay. So I'm going to put it right here. And this one, yeah, no. See, I don't want it to come through. You could put a washer on it. But this screw, you know, or this base, you don't want it to pop through, you know. So let's see. If I put the screw in here like this, so you don't want the hole too big. I guess I could make the hole even smaller. Okay, just let me get something to hold this while I don't know if it's working. Okay, now let's see where we're at. That was quick, wasn't it? makes it look like it's for a tiny wrist. Oh, you guys want to come dig in my stuff? Come help me organize this room, and I'll let you dig through all my tins that make all the sounds. Boy, that's cool, isn't it? Now I have to decide, do I want this on top? Do I want it? I guess it would have gone the other way if it was proper. Because if you're like, if you've got your arm on a table, you don't want it to be like that, right? So I think it needs to be. The other one I put the stuff to go on my wrist next to it. So this was part of the design or detail. So it was not centered. So I'm going to kind of go with this flower is my centerpiece. Boy, I should have used this lace last time because this has become a guide, which is cool. I am going to trim that one edge off because it's bugging me. And I like the pieces sticking out. Those are great. A lot of those will get sewn down, or at least in the center area. So I'm going to mix old and new, right? Whether it's old beads or, you know, I love doing beading on stuff. Oh, that's so much fun. Oh, that looks cool. I love it already. Okay. So we know that this flower is my center point, right? Okay. Put this away. We know that this is going to go on here, and this is actually a sticker. I'm going to sew it on. It is like copper. I mean, or it is whatever. So we got that, and that'll get curved to my wrist. Matter of fact, let's do it now. Just a little curve on it. And then I can adjust it more after. I did that with these too. After I got it on, I curved, you know. Okay, old and new. So that's new. And I have a bunch of these and I wouldn't use them otherwise. They're little clocks. I have more. I know I pulled out. Oh, they're all right here. I think that should be a necklace. So, but I mean, I wouldn't use that otherwise. That's too big. It's too big. I'll use one of these smaller ones like that on it. Or I think, okay, so this looks like the gears. I think that's good. Here, I know you guys like this sound. Everybody with me? Okay, here's an old piece. This is an old piece of filigree that was off of a necklace. I think it would be lovely on there. Let's see. There's another. Yeah, I think the gears are good. Pull all these out. Old buttons. I know you guys have old buttons. Julie, you have old buttons, don't you? Those are great on here. I need to move this. So we've got our new stuff there, and I need to decide, am I having 3? Because I also have one of these. I like the colors of metal I have going on here. They make me happy. How about that? So we have all the colors represented. And then if I need another small one, I'll go with that. So those are gears. Okay, next tin. And what I'll have to do is put a flower down first, kind of, and I'll arrange it with this being my centerpiece, my focal point. I really didn't finish this job. I was pulling out the new stuff and putting it in here, so it's not new. So I need something old. This is kind of like a wedding, something new, or something old, something borrowed, something blue, however it goes. I can't remember. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. There are beads in here. I just need something small. Even if it's an old button. Certainly I have something in here. Might have to go grab a button. Let's get it started though. We'll go from there. Yep. Okay. So you guys want me to move the camera closer? You want that? I can do that. Because of what we're doing today. Okay. Did I make you all dizzy? I'm so sorry. There. How's that? Is that better? That's better. Okay. Now it's touching my forehead. Oh, I have stuff in this little tin too. This is that one I got last time. Somebody had glued this on here, I'm pretty sure. Because I think this is an old watercolor tin. There might be something old in here. Button, a bell. A button might be perfect for the center of the flower, but I'm not trying to make it look like the traditional junk journal flowers. I'm doing something far different. Hopefully. It's not going to be like the flowers with a button in the center. I guess that's what I'm saying. Oh, I did get something old. I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably going to need a third little option. So a button sounds great. Okay, so we've got this piece of fabric I just rough cut. And now I'm going to get my needle and thread. Lost it again. So I want to use an upholstery needle for this, which is the curved one, but it doesn't matter with this. So I've actually got some thread on this one left over from, did I really do that? Yeah, I really did. It's like left over. So we'll go ahead and set that one right there. Right there. And then I'm going to grab, let's see. Julie, tell a joke. I'm running across the room to grab some different thread. Tell a joke, Julie. You can do it. Oh. Oh, that one's empty. No. Where is it? Tell a joke. Tell a joke. I just want white. All right. So I grabbed an empty spool. It was on the white styrofoam, so it's like, oh, there we go. If you're new here, thank you for being here and consider subscribing. And we don't necessarily always do things like this. We never know what we're going to do. But I do like to throw it all in a bag, all the different mediums, and shake it up and see what we get. So you definitely get mixed media with me. I need just a little needle, just a small one for this. Threading it on camera while I'm is always a pain in the butt, but you know, I don't need a big needle here. So, you know, I could have used this thread. Darn it. I might. I don't. After all that, ow. Okay. Fresh edge. So smash all the buttons. What sits on the seabed and shivers? A nervous wreck. You love scooping your hand through the buttons. Absolutely. It's almost like, it's like digging through the tin. It is. When I was a kid, my stepmother, the artist, who taught me all kinds of crazy stuff, and was young and youthful, and you know, she was a good stepmother. She gave me different perspectives on things. She said, every time you go in the store, you got to put your hands in the beans. So we went to the grocery store, and they used to have, I don't think they do anymore, barrels of beans in the produce department at the grocery store. So I'm going to make a soft edge where I don't have anything sticking out, and do this with it and tuck that under. I just want a soft edge with no knot. When I made this before, I actually did it on the thing. So, but I kind of want the opportunity to arrange it. So I'm not going to. So you just keep folding it and making like, and this is not the flower shape you're used to, like the petals. This is more carnation. Dry beans. Yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't wet barrels of wet beans. And every time I see a rough edge, I'm going to go in and grab it and whoop, and take it back in. So I don't have frayed edges sticking out. So they're all getting tucked in. So already it's starting to look the way it should. And then I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to make another, try to tuck in those edges. You can twist it if you want. Tuck those edges in, make another sort of fluffle. It's kind of like clouding, which that was a term we used for the design of the tablecloth that went on the table, like on Mother's Day when I would set up for the banquets at the Red Lion. I worked in the bar and I worked in banquets, which I loved working banquets. I loved my boss. We were really good friends. We used to party together. But we did this thing called clouding, and it would be to cloud the tablecloth. And that's what this reminds me of, really. Uh-oh, I went the wrong direction. If you do, that's no big deal. Just go back between some petals. Or they're not really petals, but you know what I mean. I don't think I've ever done this without doing it on a base. I almost should have cut out a circle for myself. Okay. Now, I don't like the way this looks, and I'll get that frayed edge. It's no big deal. But I'm going to twist this a couple times and bring it in. Whoops, let's get that frayed edge in everywhere we can. Let's go this way with it. Now you could start with a square, a big square. You need a lot of fabric for this. See, where's my thread end? I keep doing that to myself. Not really making a center as much as, you know, getting it roughly. Back through. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab this square edge right here to see how our flower is doing, and bring it to this right here. And all of them look different. I covered an entire corset with these, and it was so fun. I just sat and clouded right on the corset. And I don't mind a few little frayed edges. That's okay. Okay, now I'm going to take a bit more of this, and come on, edges. I think this was a curtain. I'm pretty sure it was. And I think it was a curtain that I cut up like 30 years ago. I've been using this fabric for years in random costumes and, you know, sewing projects. I'm down to the last few scraps, and yeah. Sometimes the back ends up looking like, oh, that's fun. So you have choices. I need some more over here. See how that's looking, you guys? Can you see the detail there? Is it too, my light is just so bright today. I don't know why. I didn't turn on the light behind the computer. Maybe that would help. I always have that one on. I forgot today. So we didn't do the oracle cards today. There was a reason, and it was just because I wanted to share so much, and I also felt like, oh, I don't want to do that. I felt like see, I'm in the back. I was going to do like a little feet on the floor meditation, and I forgot. Forgot to do a lot of things. I feel scattered. I don't know about you guys. Are you feeling pretty scattered with the events? I think anybody in their right mind, I mean, you know, it's just how it goes. Now, see, now I'm going to shape it a little bit more. I'm going to pull these together, and I'm in the back right now. So On the corset, I just would add another flower right there. I'd just scrunch them together. Because we're only doing one flower, I think I won't be. And then you also can twist it. Where's my thread? You get lost. It's really relaxing to do this. You guys should make some of these. I think my flower in the middle has gotten quite thick. So maybe I should make 2 of these and we'll choose between them. I could do that. On the next one, I think what I'll do is cut a little piece, a little round piece for it to go on, and see if that helps my. But I mean, that's not bad, right? It's not terrible. Just could be better. All right, one more knot. Now I'm going to get a little piece of fabric here. Maybe a little piece of this rusted, yummy. I don't know why I would cover this, but okay. It's okay if some of this hangs out. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, that's also a nice sound. You feel groggy from being asleep all night? Oh, sleep all night. That sounds great. Tiny beads. I thought I might go in and do some beading around this even, which would be fun also. I won't do that on camera because they're tiny, and this is bad enough. Watching me slow stitch. Bad enough. Okay, now we've got this one here. And I think this time I'm going to kind of fold it in, see if it helps me. I'm not trying to make a rose shape, but if it ends up that way, that's fine too. Let's see. Let's get it started here. Inside. All right. And then I can trim off any fabric on the back I don't want. This is probably the way to do it right here, because then you can choose to keep some or not on the fabric as far as that goes. We also have other options here. Wait a minute. Let's get you on here. I feel like this one's going to go much faster. Why do I do that to myself? Murphy's Law and stuff. People are probably just watching in the background, Julie. Thank you for commenting. That's great. I feel like we need each other so bad right now, but we're all so far apart. And I don't know my neighbors, but I feel relieved to have met some people in town and know that I'm not a blue spot in a red in a small red town, you know. I was wondering about that even. So, you know, I'm tickled that I can go downtown. I've met some people. I know some people now. And it's made a huge difference in my outlook. And I mean, being home all the time, and it's just been difficult. Especially, I mean, we moved here during COVID. So there was no going out and meeting your neighbors at that stage, you know, and over time we discovered that they're not that friendly anyway. So, I mean, it's not like anybody was like, welcome to the neighborhood, you know? But we do live on a block that's just about all ours. So, you were looking forward to your thread? I was looking forward to my thread. Well, what does that mean? Cataloging my stamps and stencils. Well, that's a good thing to do. Things are about to get pretty rough. July is going to be a crazy month. I do know that. I can tell you that for sure, you guys. In a woo-woo sort of way. I don't know how woo-woo you guys are, but I'm kind of woo-woo sometimes, and I'm even thinking about becoming a hypnotherapist right now. I know somebody that does it, and she's about to start teaching it, and I said I volunteer as tribute. So, oh, you were looking for a needle and, oh, okay, to do this with us? Ah, that's awesome. Okay, so just keep tucking until you like it, basically. So if I did that and then gave it like a little, I mean, look at that, you guys. I have a gear flower. I mean, I could put like a pearl there. I think that would be beautiful. Let's do a pearl. I hope I have enough thread there. Let's do an old pearl, you know, since we're like something old, something new here. Let's do, these are one of my favorites because I love the color of these. They're like a, they're not champagne. They're, I don't know what color that is. They're almost cafe latte. I don't know what they are. Well, what color is that, you guys? Hopefully this needle will go through this flower. I don't think I do have enough thread here. Pull tight, pull tight. Let's see. I'm just going to knot it, start a new one for that. I barely have enough to knot it twice. I don't, if I needed to have nicer stitches, I would take longer, but the whole point of the slow stitch for me is just to keep going and not pay attention. You know, clearly I need to tuck that part in right there. Now, if I want to, I could glue some of it down. I'm allowed to use glue anywhere I want, right? So there's that, but I almost think it needs, this is tulle, a little bit of tulle in there, or a little bit of U. That's almost too much. That looks like the craft store to me. Or a little bit of U, just like a little loop of it. Nah, I like this. I also have white. Let's use the peach. Just a tiny bit. I'm still holding the pearl, so. And I don't know if this is going to go through it. No. Let's get a smaller one. Just a sec. This is a nice, quiet way to spend an afternoon, too, while we need quiet sewing. Sewing is good. Eddie went to visit some family today. I asked Eddie if he wanted to help me today, and he was busy. That's okay. You have those pearl stamens that are double-ended. Refined. Let's see. Fold in half. I have some old ones that are like yellow, and they look like little cup mushrooms almost, or little buttercups that are, they have the wire for making flowers. But I'm trying to make a goofy flower. So, I mean, it's really not necessarily what I'm going for. Okay, I'm going to come in right here because I want to tuck in a little bit of these raggedy bits right here. Let's see. Or at least ensure that they don't continue to fray. So I'm going to go around that edge and see if I can do it that way. So I grab a hold of it and then poke it in to the center. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Look at this old jewelry right here. Nah, something's going there now. Where's my thread? All right. Let me go up through the center. It's hard to know where your needle's at when you stop and do all the little ruffles, because I had gone around this edge already. It's okay. It's no big deal. Okay, and I'm going to go back in kind of where it's coming out, so the bead isn't moving back and forth on the thread. The holes are closer, or the thread is closer together. When you sew beads on something, if you have the opportunity to do that, it's good, because then your bead isn't going to move. So go in under it at an angle. I'm going to go through one more time. Go up through that hole and then go back down to where your thread is again. I saw that coming. It's not terrible, I guess. All right. Oh, do I want to make this my leaf? Ooh, there's pink glitter on it. Why? Why is there pink glitter? Yeah, I think that makes a nice leaf. Or I actually have leaves. Let me see. Or something weird. Maybe I just need to use a gear or a hand. I know that's a fun sound. And then there's this. I have a hand I could use. That's weird to have a hand on your wrist. I have this guy. Let's see where it's going to go first. Just knot it and wait. Because if I need to sew on whatever goes right there, I also have the opportunity to glue it if I want to. While I'm holding that, I'm going to go ahead and knot it so it's ready. Okay. Now I want to take some of this off. And pay attention to where my threads are. Can't do that to the other side because I accidentally took it around. Not too much. So if I went like this and like, let's see. Let's take this off. I really don't need that tape on there either, but it's got double-sided tape. Move it over. Okay. All right, well, we're going like that, and then I'll fray it. Not you. Nothing a dab of glue won't fix. And fray it. It's awful quiet today, isn't it? Even I am a little quiet. That's unusual. Okay, so we know that if it's going to sit like this, I want it to, there's always a question. When you wear a ring that's got like, say my goddess, right? Now say it's a peacock. Do you want the peacock to look right to you, or do you want the peacock to look right to them? That's always the question, the big one, I think. So love of life. Do I want this facing me so I can read it? I think that's how I usually go about it. But, or do I want, if someone's looking at it, do I want them to read it? What do you guys think? Hi, Jamie. I'm sorry I missed you coming in. You're auditioning a new avatar. I love the bunny. Same with tattoos. Yeah, right? So do you want it facing you, or do you want it facing the person that you come in contact with that's going to see it? That is always the question. But I almost feel like if you're looking at a watch, it's the time you see, not the time they see, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's vote on this. I think this is a life vote right here. This is a big one. Declare nail polish to run your stockings. Yeah, I used to love wearing pantyhose. There's just something about it. So do I point it to me, or do I point it to them? Point it to me, A. Point it to them, B. What you think, guys? This is a pretty big vote. Yeah, is the text more for me or for others? Yeah, think about that for a minute. Okay, so it's about, Shannon says it's about me. Yeah, you were always there. They are not. And maybe you bought it because you liked what it says and it's to remind you. Any other votes? So you're going to want to go in periodically and like put your bracelet on the way it's going to be. Wait, it goes this way. So this is one of those things where I would go in, and I think I'm going to put a piece of lace underneath on this side. But this might be where I go in, and I actually want to remove more of that because I don't want to cover all of my pretty lace, right? Looking at it now. So if this goes here, or this can go on this side, or I can go as wide as I want and put it right there. Oh, that actually works, doesn't it? Julie says B. Okay, now we have a tie. Somebody break the tie. I kind of like it like that. I like it like that. Okay. I'm not an even person, but you know, it's about yourself, Becky. So you're saying A? I want to remove more of this. As much as I like this, I'm going to go ahead and do this and fray it. And I'll probably put a dab of glue on this so it doesn't continue to fray. So it stays in place. I don't mind the little threads, some of them, but I think we're going to put that down. Put it down now. What a waste of great fabric if I'm going to cut it all away. Fray, fray, fray. Okay. Do I save it? No. Okay. Yes. Yes. No. I'm throwing some away. And I forgot this I was going to put in it before I sewed that down. How silly is that? Okay, let's put that dab of glue in. Get it. Because it's driving me crazy, mostly. I am crazy. I'm just going to kind of do that. Push that in there, and there's probably enough glue right on the bottle. Using that to my, like a tool. There. Come on, get in there. I guess I gotta hold it for a moment, huh? It is 3-in-1. I mean, it's the good stuff. I went to order. I've been using a lot of. Where's it at? Where's it at? Glossy Accents, because it works for jewels and it works for all the things I want to permanently put down. It's kind of like resin. I went to buy a bottle on Amazon, and it was $8 and some change, which I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. So I kept scrolling thinking I'll find something else. And I found a deal where you got 3 bottles for $14. So I got that one, unfortunately. So I ended up with 3 bottles, and they're not here yet. Glossy Accents will be here this weekend. Okay, I think I held that long enough. I just don't want it to fray. I don't mind the edges showing like that, but fraying, no. All right, so we're going to put this underneath. Maybe that's my leaf. Yeah, there. I'm just going to kind of make this into a kind of a bow shape, an uneven pull on one side. There we go. And I could, just glue it down like this, but it would be kind of a pain. So I'm just going to go like this and wrap. And then I'll glue. close enough. And so it's ready. So you guys don't see my lips and, you know, the red lipstick thing where we show our support by wearing red lipstick, because that's what they did in World War II, right? So I've chosen to wear blue nail polish. You guys see my hands. So blue nail polish is what I'm doing. And I think that's a great way to show support. And if anybody else wants to jump on board there, you go and join me. That would be great. So how about this for underneath or on the edge? Or is it something white that I need? I think that one's fine. What do you think? Is that fine? It's fine. I don't want to dig through and find another. Do have this one, and it's a little bit short. All right, we're going to use this one. Excuse me. Oh. And we're going to go right there. Cut it round so it's kind of finished. I love an opportunity to get rid of some of the major piles of this sort of stuff that I have. I have way too much of this. I have another, I kept thinking I was going to organize it into a tall rolling thing with the skinny drawers, and blue nail polish to show support to in protest. It's for protest. You know, it's the red. Did you hear about were you here when I talked about the red lipstick? During World War II, it came out that Hitler hated red lipstick on women, hated it. So all the women started wearing red lipstick, and that's why you see that in Hollywood. And that's probably where it started, in Hollywood, because, you know, they were going after the film, you know, anybody that didn't agree with them, they were going after the studios, and they would call them Nazis, or, you know, they made the Jewish list, and they did all of that stuff. And so the women started wearing red lipstick in defiance and in sort of a private little protest, so people knew where they stood. And I think that's wonderful. And I was wearing red lipstick when I left the house, and a blue sweater. You know, I'm trying to wear blue, but a little bit more. I mean, that looks cool, but I want a little bit more of it to show. And don't forget, I'm going to finish the back, so everything will be there. Oh, that looks nice. That does look nice. That looks so finished, doesn't it? Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna put something across the back so any of my stitches don't show, and it makes it even and comfortable. So, yay! Okay, so we have. This is our, let's see, it goes this way. This is our center flower. I'm going to put you here. You go under like this. You go, I'm just going to go off to the side a little bit because I just can't do things evenly. So you are there and there. And let me get my upholstery thread out. I have this heavier thread on here, and I have an upholstery needle, which is this kind. It just works better for things like this, and it's sharp. It's made for fabric like this, so that's what I'm using. Okay, so I want to start somewhere here. And I don't really want to go through, I should glue it down too. I'm going to try to go through this, this base piece. Now I could have done the flower right on it, but if I didn't like it, then I would have, protesting everything. Yeah. ICE. And, the concentration camps that we have now, things like that. The budget bill, stuff like that. Yeah, protest. So just getting the edges. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. It's messy blue nail polish. I'll tell you, I thought, oh, let's do a 10-minute nail polish job. Took me 20. It was this morning, and I got nail polish pretty much all over my fingers, and but I was in a hurry. So. That's okay. It's all right. Be okay. And I don't want this to lay flat, but not be too annoying. So if I need to give that a bring the top, don't get around it. Come on. Yeah, there. I like tulle because it crumples. You can cut it unevenly and the edges always look cool. There's just so much about tulle that, it's so useful, I think, and we should use more of it, maybe. There's a lot to protest yet. Having protested in the U.S., I won't say his name, by not traveling. Yeah, we'd like to just leave at this point. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. And leaving them around your city. I love that, Jamie. That is amazing. That is awesome. Becky, they proposed it and built it within like a 2-week period, in the middle of the Everglades, surrounded by an alligator moat. No shit. There we have a camp, and all that. If you look up the definition of that word, it more than fits the bill. And that is exactly what the prison camps are that they're sending them off to in El Salvador. They're being tortured. They're overcrowded, and that's what's happening here. People are dying in the facilities. They're not getting care. They're not getting water. They're not getting food. They don't have a bed. They sleep on hard floors. But now we have, in the Everglades, they built Alligator Alley concentration camp. And he didn't go to many other important things, but he went to that to open it and, do the whole, and couldn't watch. I just can't watch anymore. I was getting the highlights. And at that point I was like, yeah, I can't do this. My nervous system can't take it. They are barbarians. Who are in these camps? Oh, well, anybody with brown skin, anybody. 80%, and they've done some digging and found that 80% of the people that they are tearing from their schools, from their churches, from their community centers, they tried in a baseball game. They're just picking anybody with brown skin. They're detaining American citizens. That just happened this week, by the way. It's not criminals. 80% of them are not criminals. They're grandmas that have lived here for 50 years. They're pregnant women who lose their babies. They are, there was an old man who was in his garden and they saw him with his brown skin and just like picked him up. Anybody with brown skin, because that's what this is about, racism. When it's all coming out and they don't care. They're not trying to hide it anymore. They're It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So I'm going to pump a little glue in there also, just to ensure that it's down good. I never thought that I would see something like this in my lifetime or in this country or ever again after Germany, but that is exactly what is happening. That is what's happening. And they don't care. They're going over the court. And if they can't go over the court, they have purchased the court. So they're getting 6-3 ratings because they have planted 6 judges in there. And I don't know what's going on with our military. They haven't woke up yet, because any minute they're going to remember their oath to the Constitution, because it's getting broken every day by the president and Congress. And Congress, I swear he has something on them. See how messy? Never said it wouldn't be messy. He either has something on him. There's a lot of insider trading going on, but it's blatant. They're not even hiding that anymore. They're like, I'm just tucking it because it's going to be covered. They're just, blatantly doing these things, and they don't care. And they know they're going to prison if they, stand up to him. He's also arresting his rivals on purpose, slamming judges to the ground. And, Hitler did that. Threatening news agencies if they report on things he doesn't want them to report on. Hitler did that. I wasn't going to get in depth like this, but I had to stop watching. I just did. And if you don't know or believe that these are concentration camps, I implore you to look. Just give it a peek and see. It is. He's absolutely. There's a sequence of events that happened, and he is following that playbook to the letter. To the letter. All right, so let's see. I know I've got a needle here. There's a lot of putting on, taking back off going on with this, but you have to. You just have to. Okay, so we know that this goes, darn it, that was my flower. This goes here more, right here-ish. So this is going to go here. And we decided that it is going to face me. Right. So do I want to do this way? That's exactly where it needs to go. So let's see. I'm okay with this color thread. The thread's going to show because I'm going to have to whip it in there. Actually, let's use brads. I'm going to use brads there. I do have some hardware coming for these. They are more like the thing with the screw in the back, like the Chicago screw, but they are made for this, and there's like all kinds of shapes. It's not just these. It's like rivets, like the kind of rivets you get in your you find in your jeans. Yeah. I hope I didn't run anybody off. I was trying to avoid it. I don't even get to talk to my husband about it. He can't even handle it anymore. I'll tell you guys something else though. If I may get a little woo-woo to give you hope, something big is about to happen, like big, like life-changing. And I know it deep in my soul. And, go out, buy yourself some big bags of rice and beans. I think we're going to have a solar flash that's going to knock everything out, and we're going to have to learn how to do without the power grid system. That's what I think is going to happen. Or something else. But our country is not going to be the same by I don't know how long this will last, maybe 2027. It's going to look like a completely different place. And that's going to be we're going to come out of this better. The system needed to break because it was broken, and it needed to be destroyed the rest of the way, honestly. And that's what he's doing. He doesn't, it's his life contract, like that's what he was supposed to do. I also have this bracelet that was broken that's got fans on it that would be good on one of these. Anyway, if you are interested in knowing a little of the woo-woo that goes with that, you can message me. I'd be glad to share what I think is going to happen and why. Okay, so I've got brads here. Those holes are pretty small. I'm thinking these won't fit in there, but they might. Oh, they will. And this is going to be covered, so it won't be metal on a wrist. But, maybe I can get away with using the smaller ones if they don't go through. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the rest of the world does see it, Anna. Let's see. It was like a sleeper cell that came to life. We honestly, this gave all of the racist bigots an opportunity to come out in public. They were already there, and they were the sleeper cell, and the Christian nationalists, and that's what they are. Christian nationalists means white America. And one religion. That's what it means. So, and that's wrong. Thank goodness we can still make beautiful things. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And if I didn't, I love you guys, and I am so glad that you're a part of my Fridays where we get to be real and have a moment together. And I know we didn't meditate today, but maybe definitely next Friday. So, and I'm, might change the schedule just a bit with the AI. I'm looking for my all right now. There it is. We may or may not. There's just so much going on. I feel like we need to just do whatever feels right. So I'm mixing metal colors, and I'd have to decide, do I want silver? Do I want copper? I kind of want I know I should do copper. Is that another silver one? Yeah, sure. Ooh, how about these guys? These are like really antique bronze. I can do that. That's beautiful. Okay, so this, I don't know if you guys remember Ann Tucker. I ran out and got her book, and I showed you the book, and please go look at her on YouTube. She talks to her angels and her, she knows stuff, and she's a beautiful person. So beautiful. She lives in Seattle. She's not very far from me. She does every Friday. She does a thing. Oh gosh, did I drop that? That might have been the last one like that. I do not know. No, there's one. I dropped it on the floor. I'll never find it again. And not that I have a lot of stuff on my floor, but it's tiny. Remember yeah. Oh, Anna. Yeah, something big is about to happen. So really go look at Ann Tucker. Not right now, not this second, but if you haven't yet, I know some of you may not remember or weren't here when I had talked about her, and I ran out and got her book as soon as it came out. But she is such a beautiful soul, and she knows things. She's predicted things. She's, I'm telling you, she's the one that made me go out and buy bags of beans and rice. She's the one that, she's the one that gives me hope, honestly. So I'm going to have to take pliers to get, otherwise I'm just bending this in half. but that's okay. So there's that. I like this off to the side. It actually worked out. It almost looks like a corsage, like I'm going to prom. Okay, now I need I think this competes. It's too big. That's black. Here's our little gear, and maybe a little something across here and something right here. So let's do it. So you guys can make these out of old denim. Wouldn't that be fun? Denim jeans that have been worn out. That would be amazing. Or, you know what? I'm going to bend it back for right now while I'm sewing. Where did my little gear go? Okay, so little gear right here off to this side. Okay. Oh, Abram Hicks. I love her. Jamie, we should talk sometime about this because, yeah, I love my people. I do. And Mel, Light Warrior Mel D. I see her every morning, every single morning. That's a video. You know, and they're always under 10 minutes. And oh, hi, Dana. Hi. You're a Red supporter and you're proud to be. I think we should all be able to choose our party and be able to discuss things without being. I think so too. I think. I'm curious because I feel like our opposite sides are not getting all the news. Or I mean, because I don't feel like you would be if you knew what was happening, because the news is being controlled right now and they play what somebody wants them to play. And if they don't, then they get fines and they end up in court with him. So I'm just curious what it is that makes you still hold on, Dana. I'm curious. There's a lot of bad news both ways. Yeah, we need a brand new system. That's what it is. This system is breaking, and it is breaking down fast right now. And we need a brand new one. We need a way for all of us to love each other and help our neighbors and support each other right now. So I'm just sewing this. There's 2 holes in it, sewing it down with the brown thread. Okay, make sure it's tight. I'm only going over twice. It's kind of like a button. Buttons would be great on these. Use denim and buttons and maybe patches. Old patches would be a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to tie that off. Okay, and cut. Now this thread is probably too short to do anything with, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off and try not to lose my needle. Okay, and then I need something down here kind of at an angle, and that is going to be, I like the idea of this, but I think it doesn't balance. It won't balance there. It's not good there. I mean, it would have been a great addition, but I'm not seeing it. I think this gear right here. It's weird how not anything is touching, and that's not normal for me to not overlap things. I do need something right there, though. Let's see. Let's see what we got. How about if I just use one of these little heart brads here, because you can't tell it's a brad after I finish the back off. That would be good. I have all kinds of other little charms and stuff here. Like here's a bow that could dangle off right there. Ooh, that's good. I like that. And then a little heart over here. That was a good pull. Okay, I'm going to use my awl again, kind of going at that angle. Oh, I got these hearts and I think they're amazing. They're my color. You know, I love a heart. Can't help it. And they're Brad's. I mean, what more could you want? All right. And I'm going to keep that heart tipped in. Isn't that a pretty color too? That's gorgeous. Okay. And now we don't have anything silver on here since we're mixing our metals. I'm going to bring it right there and I'm going to let it dangle. And this is an old charm, and it's like the market. I don't know. It's supposed to look like that. I don't know what it's I don't know. You have 3 different projects in front of you needing finished. You're deliberating. Pages or something with a pocket. Are you tempted to sew now? I think you'd be surprised that transition surgery really isn't happening. That's not a thing. I don't know where that started, but children do not go to school and come home a different sex. It just doesn't work like that. It is an enormous decision for a child to talk to their parents and say, I feel like a girl inside. And those parents are not going to transition those children. They're not. They're going to wait until they're adults. And then let them make that decision if they want to. But if they feel like someone else inside, they're not doing it to be a pervert. They're not doing it to be, rude. They're being tortured inside their hearts. And it would be a really hard decision to make to do something like that. So there's a lot of misinformation about that. And just because he said it doesn't make it true. Just that. Just because he said it doesn't make it true. And I think that's happening a lot. And then the echo chamber begins, because then Fox repeats it and then everybody else repeats it back to each other. And then suddenly it's a thing. And that is happening a lot. Honestly, it is. Especially when you start suing news channels because you don't like what they're reporting on. That's happened with ABC. That's happened with CBS. That is a Hitler move. That is a Putin move. That is controlling the news. And if you're not seeing the real story, that is really where you guys are being misinformed. Do you know anybody that has had this happen? Or did you just hear it in the echo chamber? Because I think that's what's happening. You're hearing it in an echo chamber, and suddenly after you hear it 10 times, it's true. Or 3 times, or, it depends on the person. Okay, and then I'm going to leave this jump ring on here. I want to make sure it's good and tight, though, because I don't want my thread slipping through at any point. So I'm going to get my tools out here. Got my ring. I'm going to make sure it's a nice, tight fit. We're almost done with this, guys. That's amazing. Yeah, transgender mice. That was not what that was. It was trans something. I I can't remember the word, but that's not what that meant. That had nothing to do with transgender. Just like transatlantic doesn't make the ocean trans, the word is used a lot in other words. And, I don't think that's happening unless there is someone in the school specifically that, and that child would have to make a huge, huge decision to talk about it with their parents. Yeah, I don't know either, Jamie. Yeah, they don't do transition surgery on children. They just don't. That's not a thing. They would wait until they have their adult mind. Teenagers don't even have that same, unless their parents are filthy rich and they're paying off a doctor. That's not happening. Just because someone said it. It doesn't work that way. I just think there's a lot of misinformation and an echo chamber that is keeping things alive. So just use your discernment, please, and know that when you are ready to come back, we are here. Honestly, I hate to put it this way, but I think you're in a cult. And everything that he says is something he's doing because he deflects that way. Everything, every single thing. Like, oh, they're going to cheat. And he cheated. And that if you go look it up, the Truth Alliance, that's not a Democratic or a Republican company. They are in charge of the election integrity. And it's a board of people in charge of election integrity and always has been. It's not a new thing. And they've discovered some anomalies. So now they're going state by state. That's not really working. I don't like it. They're going state by state and finding the same anomalies. And that is that, like, there's no way that people went in to vote and voted up and down the ticket, like for the other offices that were being elected. I'm putting it on there. I'm just taking the jump ring off. I'm going to let it dangle from its own ring. But there's no way that they would go in and vote down the ticket and then not vote for president. There's no way. People go in to vote for president. It's possible that they won't vote down the ticket and they just vote for president. But it's not possible. Darn it. That's what I get for yapping. I have to cut it, and I don't want to. I went around. I got it wrong. I'm trying to read comments. So I'm just going to tie this off and trim it, and then I'll start over. Anyway, yeah, maybe watch BBC. That's if you really want to see what's happening, see how the rest of the world is seeing it, because they're not being controlled. The news is not being controlled over there. No, he didn't, actually. He didn't win by a good margin. He hasn't done good things. He's lied to the American people over and over and over again. I mean, I can't. Okay, so we should drop it, probably. We should drop it. I don't usually talk about this stuff on here. Usually it's so that we can get a break on here. Right, guys? Yeah, watch some Canadian news. That'd be the way to go. Canadian. Or Aaron Parnas. Or, you know, on TikTok, you can get little news stories from honest reporters that have channels and they've gone out on their own. There's a couple lawyers that have quit that have some channels that are really good. Yeah, that's a good way to go. I think the best way to go is BBC or Canada, because they are paying attention. They know what's happening. Yeah. Oh, it's cute. Look, guys. It's cute. Wait, let's do it right side up. Look at that. And it dangles. And it's in that little space. On a positive note, you're glad you live in Canada and that you're I've been loving his speeches. I have been loving his speeches. Yeah, we don't want to separate us more. Yeah. I love my friends, and I you guys are so important to me. And these moments are to rebalance our nervous system in this tough world right now that we live in. So that's kind of what we are focused on. And that's what we've been doing, isn't it? So, I include a heart or a bird in almost everything I do. These make the heart. Okay, you ready? Are we ready? And then I'll have to get my pliers out and wait, let's just do this. Okay. And then we'll finish off the back and it'll be done. What time is it? 2:01. Look at that. It took me 2 hours and we were yapping still, and I was alone, so I'm reading chat, and I still got it done. Look at that. What do you guys think? Here, let me turn my light down. I'm like, turn it off. What do you guys think? It's so cute. I love it. Yeah, taco. Okay, so. All right. And I think it's a little snug on me after all the stitching and everything that went on it. I mean, it's perfect. It is perfect. I love this edge, the way it finished it off. And I'm really loving the olive green. I'm really into olive green right now. How do you guys feel about olive green? So that is my bracelet. And when I finish it, it will be with a bit of felt that does something that doesn't fray and something that's soft. And I have this antique felt that I'll probably use on the inside. I don't think I have any sitting right here. Or I could use this stuff. Might be fun. I have a little bit of this fabric, and we're almost done here today. This fabric right here might be fun on the inside. It's just some offcuts that I got. It's kind of fun. Can't really see the picture though. I don't know. We'll see. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. And I'm glad we had this moment together. There's one thing that I think we should do today. We didn't do it at the beginning. We didn't meditate or take a moment today. We didn't read a card. We didn't do any of those things. So right now, just with friends, I think we should drop our shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Put your feet flat on the floor. Take a big, deep breath and hold it for 4. Let it out for 4. Again, deep 4. Hold it for 4. And you can also hold it in the end for 4. Now, when you do 4 of those rounds, those are box breaths. 4, 4, 4, 4. And that actually releases a natural chemical in your body to trigger you for relaxation. So, whenever you're feeling stress throughout the day, you can always count to 10, but you can also take some box breaths. And I like to do that before I meditate. I think it's good at any time during the day. And don't forget to drink your water. That's also really good. Yes, you too, Dana. Thank you. Thank you for having a calm and level conversation. That was good. We don't usually talk about that on here. We try to get away from it, but but thank you. So all of you go out there and be the light. That is my desire. I want you to go and spread some joy, because it only takes a few people spreading joy in a room full of grumpy people to change the narrative. And if you go touch everyone that you meet and you pass with some joy, a smile, a kind word, it makes such a difference. And that's what we need right now. Lots of love and joy. So thank you, everybody, for coming. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and share this stream with other people if you think they might enjoy it. And have an awesome weekend. Happy holidays to those of you that are celebrating.